Bruh. The biggest troll in the world is trolling Joe Biden, right? He's trolling Sleepy Joe. And who am I talking about, folks? No other than Vladimir Putin, okay? The man that scares the liberal media like no other, okay? Because he is a master troll. He really is. And this recent interview ahead of a meeting between him and Biden in Europe, Putin, again, is trolling to the max here. Because he basically triggers the liberal media by praising Trump and basically calling Biden a career man / politician. Take a look.
You once described President Trump as a bright person, talented. How would you describe President Biden?
Well, even now, I believe that former U.S. President, Mr. Trump, is an extraordinary individual, talented individual. Otherwise, he would not have become U.S. President. He's a colorful individual. You may like him or not. But he didn't come from the U.S. establishment. He had not been part of big-time politics before. And some like it, some don't like it. But that is a fact. President Biden, of course, is radically different from Trump because President Biden is a career man. He has spent virtually his entire adulthood in politics. Just think of the number of years he spent in the Senate. A different kind of person. And it is my great hope that, yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting U.S. president.
Guys, don't get it twisted. This is 100% a troll job, like I was saying at the beginning of this video. Putin's playing the American people, right? He's playing the American media as well. He's coming out here and saying all these nice things about Trump. Not because I think he really particularly likes Trump or any U.S. president for that matter, right? He's a adversary, okay? He's doing it because he knows that the media is going to take this and say, oh, Russia. Look at Putin praising Trump. Isn't this proof that Trump is in bed with Putin, right? Why are Trump and Putin so cushy with each other, right? And that's literally what the media has done, right? They've criticized Trump for being close with Putin. But the reality is not that Trump is really close with Putin. Does he probably admire some things about Putin? Yeah, probably, right? Game recognized game, okay? But if anything, I think it's a keep your friends close and your enemies closer type of strategy, which is the same reason why he was willing to meet with Kim Jong-un from North Korea, okay? Because you want to know your enemies, right? How can you beat your enemy if you don't know your enemy? And I think that that's the reason why Trump, at least on the surface, appears to be friendlier towards Putin. Okay, it's because he understands that Putin is an adversary. And when you're dealing with your adversary, it is important to know that person, right? But for whatever reason, the liberal media interprets that as, well, Trump's in bed with Putin. And I just don't believe that to be the case. Okay, I just don't believe that to be the case. I think that Trump's playing chess, right? He's playing chess with world leaders, which is what you're supposed to do, right? The same way that, Putin bought a dog to a meeting with Angela Merkel, knowing that she was afraid of dogs. Like, she's scared to death of dogs, apparently. And Putin bought his big ass dog to the meeting with her, right? He's playing chess with world leaders. He's using an intimidation factor. And that's also what he's doing with Biden, okay? He's basically telling Biden straight up to his face that you're weak. Putin doesn't even feel the need to even try to play up on stroking Biden's ego, right? He's not even trying to do that. He's just saying, listen, you're weak, you're irrelevant, you're a career man, you're a politician, okay? He's saying the same exact things that Trump would probably say about Biden, okay, in the establishment. And that's how you know that he's trolling. He's trying to play the American media and the American people against each other. That's what world leaders do. That's what adversaries do. And again, I'm not defending Putin here, right? I'm not a fan of Putin or anything like that. I just know, alpha male when you see it, right? You just know alpha male when you see it. And Putin is definitely a top dog, right? Don't get it twisted. He is. And I think that he probably sees Trump in that same light to a certain extent. And I think that's why you're seeing them deal with each other in the way that they're dealing with each other, right? Two men that recognize that, hey, we're on the same level, right? the interactions aren't necessarily going to be overtly hostile. Okay, in my experience, I could be wrong about that. But when it comes to Putin dealing with Biden, unlike Trump, Putin does not think that Biden is on his level. Okay, Putin obviously has no respect for Biden whatsoever. So he is just openly hostile towards Biden. Okay, because there's no doubt in my mind that Putin's like, this man is weak and fragile, which is why Putin said that he was legitimately concerned about Biden's long-term health. Okay, that's why he said it. And it just goes to show how ridiculous Time Magazine looks with this cover of Biden talking about Biden's taking on Putin. Like Biden's some type of bad man, strong leader who's going to take down Putin. And I'm like, dude, come on. You must be a joke here. This got to be a joke. Biden can't even take on a set of stairs. But with that being said, I just want to make it clear, because, you know, people will get it twisted. I am not rooting for Putin. I'm actually rooting for Biden in this situation. I hope that he is strong enough to take on Putin, okay? Russia is an enemy. Putin is the enemy, okay? I'm not rooting for Putin. I actually hope that Biden finds the strength from somewhere to actually take on somebody like Putin. I just have my doubts about Biden's capabilities at this point. And furthermore, just to kind of show you how much of a troll this man is, remember that Biden called Putin a killer. And at the time, Putin had challenged Biden basically to a debate, a live debate. And Biden denied it, of course. But this time, when asked about him being a killer, just watch this.
The late John McCain in Congress called you a killer. When President Trump was told that you are a killer, he didn't deny it. When President Biden was asked whether he believes you are a killer, he said, I do. Mr. President, are you a killer?
Over my tenure, I've gotten used to attacks from all kinds of angles and from all kinds of areas under all kinds of pretext and reasons, and of different caliber and fierceness, and none of it surprises me. So as far as harsh rhetoric, I think that this is an expression of overall U.S. culture. Of course, in Hollywood, there are some underlying deep things in Hollywood, macho, which can be treated as cinematic art, but that is part of U.S. political culture where it's considered normal. By the way, not here. It is not considered normal here.
I don't think I heard you answer the question, the direct question, Mr. President.
I did answer. I'll add if you let me. I've heard dozens of such accusations, especially during the period of some grave events during our counterterrorism efforts in North Caucasus. And when that happens, I'm always guided by the interests of the Russian people and Russian state. And sentiments in terms of who calls somebody whom, what kind of labels, this is not something I worry about in the least.
Let me give you some names. Anna Politkovskaya, shot dead. Alexander Litvinenko, poisoned by polonium. Sergei Magnitsky, allegedly beaten and died in prison. Boris Nemtsov, shot moments from the Kremlin, moments from here. Mikhail Lesin died of blunt trauma in Washington, D.C. Are all of these a coincidence, Mr. President?
Look, you know, I don't want to come across as being rude, but this looks like some kind of indigestion, except that it's verbal indigestion. You've mentioned many individuals who indeed suffered and perished at different points in time for various reasons at the hands of different individuals. You mentioned Lazin. Lazin used to work in my administration. I liked him very much. He died, he perished, or died in the United States. I regret to this day that he is not with us. In my opinion, he is a very decent, very good person. And as far as the others, we found some of the criminals who committed those crimes. Some are in prison, and we're prepared to continue to work in this mode.
This man literally, he didn't confirm or deny. Really, he really didn't confirm or deny. When asked if he's a killer, the dude laughed. He laughed, okay? And he didn't laugh in the awkward way that Kamala laughs, right? When it's like, oh, I'm nervous, I don't really want to answer the question. No, he just was like, these silly Americans. Like, he knows. Like, he's just trolling, man. He's just trolling, okay? And, you know, personally, you know, again, it is sketchy, right? That all these people, right, who Putin probably does not like showing up dead and being assassinated, regardless of where they're located. That is sketchy, but I don't know if he's behind it for sure. That's what a lot of people are saying. But his reaction to this question does not convince me that he's not involved with it, or put it this way, it doesn't convince me that he necessarily feels bad about it. So I don't know, man. But Putin is probably one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen in my life. Again, I'm not praising him at all. I'm not pro-Putin or anything like that. I'm just making observations about the man's personality. It'll be interesting to see what comes out between him and Biden, right, ahead of their meeting that's supposed to come up. Now, Biden is not going to do a joint press conference with Putin the same way Trump did a joint press conference. And Biden's goal is to make it seem like he is being strong against Putin and that he's not being soft on Putin, right? He's trying to appear to be the opposite of Trump. He's not trying to appear to be friendly towards Putin, okay? That's what Biden's goal is. So he's not doing a joint press conference. And we'll see how it goes, but I just found this to be interesting and just another example of how Putin just, he just loves trolling America, man. He really does. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.